sniped the cannons at one of their bases, and then one of his allies is getting DT'd. Purple could send DT'd in for the finish. Since none of the players even have a robo right now, that would be very effective.
Yeah, it's funny how Ireland has 2 obs walking around, but he didn't manage to see the Teal Zealots, unfortunately. He's doing a pretty good job of blocking the Zealots temporarily with his probes, although he'd do better if he could bunch the probes up a bit and kind of unbunch them like that, so that they are less quickly killable. Yeah. At this stage he really needs to
use the Zealot attacking AI.
You can see how he fought for a couple extra seconds with his probes after his allies were already there. I think that was a big mistake because he lost, 3 or 4 probes in that time, which he could have easily saved by pulling them back and just letting the Zealots either chase them or hit the buildings for a couple seconds. It takes so long to replace probes, building them one at a time.
Now Spells has DTs out as well versus no robos yet.
Blue just started a robo at the 7, but it's going to be a while till it's out. Right now they really need to take advantage of it somehow, either getting expansions or killing one of them with their additional mobility. Ultimately,
yeah, perhaps they could use the DTs to contain one player and then make a 3-on-1 attack, or maybe use the DTs to contain 2 players and then make a 3-on-1 all-in attack on one of the players.
Well, that's pretty similar to what they're doing here. They are 3v1ing against the 7. I'm not sure that the 7 was necessarily the best choice for it. I think they might have done better protecting the 12.
Teal, yeah, he's easier.
Well, Teal already got hurt earlier, so he was pretty far behind. And you can see by looking at his supply that he wouldn't have much of a chance just fighting against orange or purple. Whereas blue was mostly unhurt. He's lost units, but he didn't lose his economy the same way. And at this stage, there's really not a lot that the nation's players can do because their own attack failed, whereas Teal is going to kill the red nexus, and that's just a huge issue for him.
They really pushed all in on 7, and it just didn't pay off.
Yeah, they all into their strongest player, which was kind of a bad idea since all of them together were unable to do that. They could have easily put DTs at the 6-7 choke and held both of them in simultaneously, and then killed Teal. And then they'd be back in the game, and easily 3-on-2 the game.
My guess is they wanted to kill blue just because goons are so annoying. You get a bunch of them and they just shoot you, and if you go chase them, then they just kind of pull back and shoot a couple times and pick off the Zealots. I think they kind of get in the mindset that Teal was hurt earlier, so he's less of a threat. Let's get rid of the guy who is a threat while Teal's not a threat. But the problem is that, players start coming back and Teal's looking pretty comparable to them now. He's only 8 supply down on Fiji. Well, he's more now, but because Fiji started another cycle. But he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. He was the one responsible for actually finishing off Ireland. It's basically just the end of the game at this stage.
Yeah, and we're 2 Archons. Units to die.
Yep. All HDN players have put down an expansion and are fairly significantly in the lead here.
Yeah, Orange's expansion was actually a little quicker than the HDN players' expansion, but not really enough so that it's gonna turn around the game for him. Also, Zealot Archon is pretty strong, but the problem really is that these guys have so many goons. Blue has a lot of goons, Teal has a lot of goons. The Archons just get picked off pretty fast. Yeah, I think really at this stage you need some Storm to equalize against it. BGH is not a great map for flanking masses of goons unless you have map control, which they don't right now. You can see how Blue just keeps firing with his goons and is picking off the Archon and shooting Zealots, and it's a really painful situation to be in here, running around the Zealot Archon against mass goons with a couple Zealots.
as strong as Archons are, they don't have speed or range, so...
Well, I mean, Archons are actually pretty fast. The problem is they just have some weird issues with moving around units. You can also see that Purple has gone for Storm in a way that Orange went for Archons. He's got a couple of Stormers, although he didn't actually Storm there. And I guess he's going to try to transition to Goons.
Finished yet. Storm is halfway done with Purple.
Oh, okay.
Not that
that
that's
explains why he didn't Storm. He probably would have been better served by researching Storm a little earlier. You can see from the fact that range finished that he started getting range first for his Goons, even though he's not actually using any goons. That's GG.